I've officially been in France for about 3 weeks now. I am definitely still getting adjusted, but I thought I'd share with you my journey in making friends, dating, and give you some updates and tips on how to make friends if you are traveling or moving abroad. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Jhánneu, and I'm a sustainability and travel content creator, and I currently spend part of my time in the south of France. So as I said before, I've been here for 3 weeks. It feels like it's going so fast. I can't believe it's about to be a month already. Time really does fly, especially when you're busy and you're doing a bunch of things. Right now, the biggest thing on my mind is finding housing. So I have this Airbnb for another month. I've started the apartment search, of course, and some issues I'm running into is I don't speak French. Well, we're learning, but I don't speak French. And sometimes you have to call people and I just, my français is not it. And then they want you to have a dossier, which is basically your file, and they want you to have proof of all different things, but they also want you to have a guarantor, which is essentially someone that can guarantee that they will pay for you if you don't pay your rent, which I don't have a person that can do that. There is this platform called Guarantee. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it down below. And they can be your guarantor essentially, and you can pay them to do that, but not everyone accepts that. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, worst case scenario, I guess I just get another Airbnb, but I'm just really trying to be a bit more conservative with my spending, because if I were to get something through Airbnb, I'd probably be spending close to $2,000 a month, and I'm trying to get closer to the $1,000 a month mark. And right now it's looking like I can find something that's a nice 1-bedroom for about $1,400, $1,200 a month. So I'm just trying to see what I can get, because I also sometimes they come furnished, sometimes they don't. So I'm definitely only looking at places that are furnished, because I am not trying to deal with that. The logistics of getting things delivered, it's not like the US where you get next day delivery where things can come quickly like Amazon. Here, things take a while, and again, I don't speak French, or we're learning to speak French. So I was I want something that is at least you have a bed and just the basics, and then maybe eventually get some other things to make it really feel like home. So that's definitely something that I am working on right now. It's a bit stressful to figure out housing. I feel like that's always one of the hardest parts for a lot of people when they're moving abroad, is having to find a place to live. So we shall see. I'm definitely taking it more seriously, and we'll see. I'll keep you posted. So when you're moving abroad, of course, you want to be able to make friends. You don't want to just sit in your apartment all day, right? So I have been making friends. I think I've been on 5 friend dates, and all these girls actually reached out to me on Instagram. Some found me on Threads, Instagram. So if you're someone that is on social media, even if you're not, popular, it could be a good idea to just post that you are moving to a particular country or place, and that can help bring in new friends. Also going on Facebook and finding Facebook groups, so you can find Americans in Nice, or Americans in the south of France, or expats in the south of France. You can play around with the names and find different Facebook groups. I haven't done anything Facebook group related, but you definitely can do events there, or find events and make friends there, and even just post that you moved to France or wherever, and that you are looking for like-minded friends. I'm also trying to be intentional about the type of friends I'm making, because for me, I'm at a place where I'm not just trying to make some girlfriends where we can just go out and have fun and that's it. Sure, when you're first moving to a new place, I'm kind of just open to meeting everyone, right? But in terms of people that I'm actually spending my time with, I want like-minded women that, maybe are entrepreneurial, or, they're ambitious and they're doing really great things, whatever that might look like. And in terms of meeting friends that are like-minded and entrepreneurs, there's this group called the Business Club à Côte d'Azur. I'll put that in the description below as well if you're ever in the south of France. They do meetup events in Monaco, Cannes, and Antibes, I think I'm saying it right, and Nice. And it's basically just people from like all walks of life, but most people that are just like interested in entrepreneurship. It's definitely a good place to meet like-minded people. On the friend side, I'm actually not feeling lonely. I think I've actually been able to really be able to make friends. Every week I'm doing something with someone. Honestly, it's to the point where I'm like, okay, I think I need to take a break and like sit home for a little bit. But no, I need to like go out and meet people. I don't have any French friends, but that's a common thing you'll see amongst foreigners here in France, but I feel like that's kind of the way it is in a lot of countries. Like foreigners tend to stick with foreigners, especially if they don't speak the language. And a lot of times foreigners that have lived in that particular city and place for a long time, like they kind of stick to their own friend group. So it can be difficult to navigate that. Not impossible, of course, but I do need to find some French friends so I can practice my French. I am going to French class Monday through Friday. I've been going for the past, I guess I'm in my third week right now. And next week is my last week. I am excited to, actually pause from taking French lessons or like going in and taking French lessons because I feel like it takes up a lot of my day. So I'm waking up at about 7:30, I get to class at 9, and by the time I get home and maybe I take a little nap and I eat lunch, it's like almost like 1:30, 2, and then I still have, filming and a bunch of other things that I need to get done. I'm excited to like have more time to dedicate to creating content. And I also will still be taking French lessons, but online, like a 1-hour session, doing lessons with a private tutor on Preply. I'll put this info down below. And right now I work with her about once a week, but once I stop my in-person French classes, I'll probably go back to doing about 2 to 3 times a week with her. And then I'll also be like diligent about like, okay, an hour a day I sit down and I do some French, whether that is watching a movie that's in French or whether that's reading a book or watching a YouTube video. I'm gonna come up with a good plan to, learn French even though I'm not gonna be in class every day because I came here, I'm like, I'm gonna be fluent in French by the end of the year. I feel like by 6 months, hopefully I'm in a good spot. When I studied abroad in Germany when I was 15, it was definitely different because no one spoke English to me, so I was sort of forced to learn, and then I felt like at month 3 I was able to actually speak and understand. Here, I feel like because I am speaking English a lot of the time, I'm definitely not getting that same amount of immersion as I did when I was younger. So I definitely just need to be a bit better about practicing. I think the hardest part for me is speaking. Understanding, I'm slowly starting to get better at as long as they're not speaking too fast. I'm definitely taking my time and trusting the process. Like if there's one thing I learned when I studied abroad in Germany when I was younger, is like one day it's just gonna click, one day I'm just gonna be able to speak, and that's just how it works, and eventually I will become fluent. So I'm just trusting the process right now. But if you've ever had to learn a new language or moved abroad, please let me know down below. Let me know if you have any language learning tips. I will take all of them. And then when it comes to dating, I think the apps just aren't for me. There's like a bunch of apps, but I don't know. I feel like when I set the filter, because you can like filter for different things from height to race to whatever. And I mean, the biggest filters for me right now is like, I want a non-smoker, which sounds like pretty, like not hard to find, but in Europe, a lot of people smoke. And for me, that's just like a non-negotiable. I will not date a smoker. I don't want to kiss someone that smokes. I don't want it in the car and like you smell it on them, right? So no offense to anyone that does, but it's just like not for me. So finding a European that does not smoke is definitely not easy. And it's definitely also trying to find someone who is similar minded as well and is also very ambitious. And I feel like it's easier to find that in someone that's foreign, that's here in France, than I've seen than someone that's just French. But I love the French, that's why I'm here. But just dating wise, what I've seen on the apps is just giving a lot more, like they can't set real plans, or I don't know. No luck with dating the French on the apps. I think in person is always the best way to go. I prefer it anyway because you can feel the chemistry right away, and there's not this thing on the app where you're matching with someone on the app and you don't know if they're gonna look like their photos or if there's gonna be chemistry, where at least in person is, there's automatically that chemistry that you can feel. So right now we are definitely, trying to come up with a clear strategic plan to put myself in a position to meet the right man. And, funny enough, I actually typed into ChatGPT. I was like, help me come up with a plan to position myself to meet the right kind of person. And I'm more of a type of person that likes to go to a nice hotel lobby and be on my laptop versus be out at night at a bar. My plan right now is to find about 2 cafes or cafes or hotel lobbies where I go weekly, if not twice a week per place, just to become a regular. And then you can start to get to know the staff and you start to talk to them, and then maybe they know regulars. So of course we're going to certain hotels of a certain, certain je ne sais quoi. And so that's the plan, is to do work in places like that. So I'm just gonna start there, see what the vibe is, see what the people are that are going there, and adjust accordingly. But yeah, I'm not gonna meet anybody sitting in my house and filming these videos, okay? I have to go out and put myself out there, because I've been to Europe a bunch of times and I've swiped on apps, and I'm telling you, I just have never had a good experience, because I feel like Europeans are just flaky. They want to message you for a week but then not set a plan. I'm like, I don't understand why even take the time to message me if you don't want to actually set a plan. So, we are really just coming up with a plan to meet the right person, position ourselves. Of course, I'm, focused on myself and making friends and doing all the things that I want to do. But I definitely would love to meet the right person here in Europe. If you're interested in moving abroad or traveling solo, I definitely have some resources down below for you. I have a how to move abroad guide, and I also have a solo travel guide, which is free, and just to help you get started on traveling if that's something you're interested in. I think there is something about traveling that's just so magical, and you get to learn so much about yourself, and you're going to meet so many people that you would have never met, from your hometown or where you are currently. And I think it's just a great way to challenge yourself, and it's been a great experience so far. It's definitely not easy, and it's a lot of ups and downs, and I think also having to navigate life on your own, and there's no one here to help me. It's all on me. It's definitely not easy, but I'm doing my best to trust the process, keep a positive mindset, and hoping that everything just works out. I didn't make it this far to essentially fail. It's all going to work out, and yeah, I don't know what this year is going to look like for me, but I am trusting the process, because even work-wise, there's so many opportunities that come in my inbox that I have to say no to because I'm over here. Or maybe for example, I recently got reached out to for a hotel and in Mexico, and they're like, oh, come for 3 nights, we'll do this and that for you. It wasn't paid. So if it was a good amount of money, I would fly back. But if the money doesn't really make sense to fly back, then I'm not gonna go. But there's things like that where I'm saying no to, where I would have said yes if I was in the US. So I'm just trusting the process, that the opportunities will come with me being in France, and also just me, being in Europe in general. I'm just really having to shift how I work with brands and the type of brands I work with, because a lot of brands are like, oh, you're in France, we don't want to work with you. So I definitely, the plan is to go between the US and France, even just long term, but I'm just trying to navigate that. And next week I'll probably start reaching out to brands. I have 100 brands that I listed out. And if you're interested in learning about being a content creator, I have a whole page dedicated to that. I've done a really good job of building a successful career as a content creator, and I have less than 50,000 followers on Instagram and have done really well for myself, which I am so grateful for. But I definitely am in a transition period where, me being in France is actually helping me. It's definitely hurting. So, we're just trying to navigate that and figure it out, and I'm trusting the process, and I'm just so happy to have you guys along with me. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what videos you want to see from me in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.